The garden gathering was buzzing when I got there. Elegant white canopies dotted the beautifully trimmed grass. Waitstaff in neat uniforms moved around offering champagne glasses and appetizers. And around 60 visitors chatted under the pleasant afternoon sunshine. It was Mom's yearly spring event, even larger and more lavish than the previous one. I had observed that the invitation list had expanded from 40 to 60, and the food service had been upgraded from standard to high-end. I noticed her standing close to the stone fountain, chatting with her friends from the country club, ladies in soft-colored gowns and bold accessories, gentlemen in costly, relaxed outfits. She had on a high-fashion dress I remembered from our recent shopping outing, the one we'd spotted at Neiman Marcus, the one priced at $4,000. I recalled her testing it in the fitting room, spinning before the mirror and declaring, "I deserve this." "There you are," she said as I came closer. Her smile looked forced. "You're late." Traffic was heavy. Happy spring, Mom. Her friend Margaret scanned me up and down, her eyes pausing on my plain cotton outfit. "Is that what you chose to wear?" "It's comfortable," I replied steadily. Mom's jaw tightened. "Could you at least try to look presentable? These are influential people. I'm here, aren't I?" She turned away from me and resumed talking with her group, brushing me off. I headed toward the drink station, nodding politely at familiar faces. Most of the attendees belonged to Mom's social group, women who dined at upscale eateries, men who golfed at private courses. I had been raised in this environment but never truly belonged. Even growing up, I favored reading over social events and preferred saving money rather than splurging. Mom had always considered that shameful. An hour later, while I was chatting with one of the service staff about their operations, Mom suddenly appeared beside me. "What are you doing?" She whispered angrily, "Just talking." With the staff right in front of everyone, her face turned red. "Do you realize how this appears? I was simply inquiring about their catering business. They provide great service. You're making me look foolish." Her tone grew louder, attracting several stares. "Mom, you're humiliating me." The words rang out loud and cutting. The whole garden fell silent. Then her palm struck my cheek. The slap rang across the yard. My face stung sharply. My eyes filled with tears from the force. 60 guests watched us in shocked silence. "Get out," she shouted. "Get out of my house." I touched my cheek, feeling the warmth spreading there. For a second, I stood frozen. Then I grabbed my bag from the nearby table. "Understood," I said softly. I moved through the quiet crowd, past the stunned expressions, past the servers standing still with their platters. No one uttered a sound. I got into my car and drove back to my place, my cheek still throbbing. That night, I sat in my apartment and considered the finances. All the finances I had been handling for the past 7 years. The ones Mom had no idea I knew about. The ones she definitely didn't realize I was supporting. It had begun when Dad passed away. He had left Mom the house, but almost nothing else. His small consulting company had collapsed 2 years earlier, draining their savings as he struggled to save it. He had taken loans, maxed out every credit card, and borrowed from acquaintances. The life insurance barely paid for the funeral and a portion of the urgent debts. Mom had been crushed, not only by sorrow, but by the abrupt discovery that she was financially ruined. The house still carried a $380,000 mortgage. Property taxes ran $15,000 each year. She had $67,000 in credit card balances. The car she drove had 2 years remaining on its lease at $890 monthly. Her country club membership, which she claimed was vital for her social position, cost $18,000 annually. She approached me in desperation, 3 months after the funeral. "I can't lose the house. I can't lose everything I have. This is all that remains of your father." I was 27 at the time, freshly successful in my technology career. I had just sold my first startup for $8 million. Mom had no knowledge of the sale. She had never inquired about my working computers. "How much do you need?" I asked. "The mortgage is 3 months overdue. Property taxes are due soon. I have credit card debt piling up." I reviewed the figures. It was serious, truly serious. Without assistance, she would lose it all within 6 months, so I made a choice. Through my wealth advisor, I arranged a setup. My investment portfolios would automatically send funds to cover Mom's costs. Mortgage, property taxes, utilities, her country club fees, her car payments, her credit cards, everything. The transfers came from accounts listed under my business manager's name. Mom got notices saying an unnamed supporter had created a trust in her favor. She never investigated it, never suspected who was responsible. For 7 years, I had sustained her entire way of living. The house, the celebrations, the luxury outfits, the expensive trips, all of it funded by the daughter she considered embarrassing. I kept working, developing my second startup, and making smart investments. The $8 million had grown to $40 million. I could easily afford to maintain her lifestyle. It felt simpler than facing the reality that she had never truly achieved financial self-reliance after Dad's death. But sitting in my apartment with a clear handprint on my face, I reached a new conclusion. Monday morning, I contacted my wealth advisor, the account assisting Margaret Anderson. I said, "I want every automatic transfer halted right away." He hesitated. "All of them? Every single one. Mortgage, credit cards, utilities, club fees, everything ends today. She will be informed that the trust assistance has concluded." "Are you certain?" "Absolutely certain." "Understood. I'll handle the cancellations within the hour." Next, I phoned the mortgage lender myself. "This concerns the loan for 2847 Riverside Drive. I'm the guarantor on that mortgage. I'm officially withdrawing my guarantee starting immediately." The agent reviewed her records. "Ms. Anderson, you have been the guarantor for 7 years. If you withdraw your guarantee, the main borrower will have to qualify independently, or the loan will be due in full." "I understand." "And you're sure?" "Yes. I'll prepare the documents. Mrs. Margaret Anderson will be notified within 48 hours. I spent the rest of Monday placing similar calls to the credit card issuers where I had been the authorized payer, the country club where I had covered the dues, and the premium car dealer where I had guaranteed the lease. By Tuesday afternoon, the entire arrangement I had maintained for 7 years was fully dismantled. Wednesday morning, my phone began ringing. Mom's number. I didn't pick up. She left a message. "There seems to be some error with my accounts. The bank says my mortgage payment was declined. Call me." Thursday, she phoned 6 times. I deleted every voicemail without hearing them. Friday afternoon, she arrived at my office building. Security contacted me. "Tell her I'm unavailable," I instructed. "She's very persistent, Ms. Anderson. She says it's an emergency. Tell her to schedule an appointment through my assistant. She's inquiring about certain accounts. She appears quite distressed. Not my problem." Security persuaded her to depart after 20 minutes. That evening, I got a text from my Aunt Linda, Mom's sister. "Your mother called me in tears. Something about her accounts being stopped. Do you know anything?" I didn't reply. Saturday brought more calls. Sunday, my phone vibrated nonstop. I switched it off and spent the weekend reading. Monday, exactly 1 week after the gathering, my wealth advisor phoned. "I'm receiving calls from several creditors," he reported. "Your mother's mortgage payment was returned. Her credit cards are being declined. The country club contacted us about overdue fees. Her car leasing company is threatening to take back the vehicle. As anticipated, she has also engaged an attorney. They're attempting to identify who managed the trust. They won't discover anything they can act on. The trust agreement clearly allowed support to be ended at any time for any reason. They're alleging financial elder abuse." I chuckled. "She's 62 and fully able to handle her own finances, or she would be if she lived according to her income. They're also asserting there was a verbal promise to keep providing support. We had no such promise. I quietly supplied help through a trust. That help has now stopped. There's nothing unlawful about it. Understood. I'll have our legal department ready a reply." Tuesday afternoon, my assistant notified me. "Your mother is in the lobby again. She brought someone with her. It looks like an attorney. Same response. I'm not available. They're insisting on meeting you. Something about fiduciary duty. Contact building security. If they're not gone in 5 minutes, we'll involve the police for trespassing." They departed after 10 minutes. Wednesday, the calls grew more intense. Mom phoned from various numbers, friends' phones, hidden numbers, numbers I didn't recognize. I ignored everyone. Thursday, she sent a letter by courier to my office. My assistant delivered it, labeled urgent. I opened it. 3 pages filled with her handwriting, growing more frantic. "I don't understand what occurred. The bank claims someone halted my mortgage payments. My credit cards are at their limit and the payments aren't processing. The country club is threatening to cancel my membership. My car is scheduled for repossession next week. Please, if you know anything about who is assisting me, I need to locate them. I'm going to lose it all. At the end, she wrote, "I'm sorry about the party. I was under pressure. Please help me." I placed the letter in my desk drawer and went back to work. Friday afternoon, my wealth advisor called once more. "Your mother's house is heading toward foreclosure. The bank submitted documents this morning. She has 90 days. That's the usual process. Her credit cards have been closed due to missed payments. The country club ended her membership. Her car was taken back yesterday. Thank you for the information. There's one additional detail. She has launched a GoFundMe stating she's a widow facing eviction because of money troubles. That's her decision. It has collected $300 in 2 days. Not unexpected. Her real friends are aware she has been living beyond her income for years. 2 weeks after the gathering, Aunt Linda called using Mom's phone. "You need to speak with your mother," she said. "She's breaking down. The house is in foreclosure. She has no funds. She can't even buy food." "She can find employment," I replied calmly. "She's 62 years old. Many people work at 62. In reality, most people don't get the chance to stop working early. How can you be so heartless? She's your mother. She slapped me in front of 60 guests and ordered me out of her house." She claims it was a misunderstanding. There was no misunderstanding. She made her feelings completely clear. So you're just going to allow her to lose everything? I'm not causing her to lose anything. She's losing these things because she cannot afford them. That's called facing reality, but you could support her. I could. I'm choosing not to. This is heartless. What's heartless is slapping your daughter at a social event because she spoke with a server. What's heartless is labeling her an embarrassment in front of her entire social group. I'm simply withdrawing from a relationship that no longer benefits me. Aunt Linda ended the call abruptly. 3 weeks after the gathering, my wealth advisor sent me a full report. Mom's house was set for a foreclosure sale. Her credit score had fallen by 200 points. She had temporarily moved in with Aunt Linda. She had applied for several store positions, but hadn't received any offers yet. She has also been telling people that you cut her off financially. Some of her friends have been phoning your office. Direct all those calls to our legal team, I said, already taken care of. A month after the gathering, I received one last letter, delivered by courier labeled personal. Inside was a single sheet. "I know it was you. Linda helped me realize it. You were covering everything for 7 years. I had no idea. I swear I didn't know, but now I see clearly. You were looking after me and I treated you horribly. I'm sorry. I'm truly deeply sorry. Please forgive me. Please help me. I'm begging you. I'll lose the house next month. I have nowhere else to turn. Please." I read it twice. Then I took out my phone and began typing a reply. "You're correct. It was me. I paid your mortgage, your bills, your country club dues, your car lease, your credit cards. For 7 years, I supported the lifestyle you believed you deserved. You never inquired about the source of the money. You never wondered about the anonymous trust. You simply enjoyed it. And while I was funding your designer gowns and garden events, you called me an embarrassment. You slapped me in front of your friends. So now you can learn how to support yourself like everyone else. Consider this your lesson in financial self-reliance. I didn't send it. Instead, I erased it and composed something shorter. The trust that was assisting you has been terminated. I have no details about who created it or why it ended. I recommend you consult a financial counselor about budgeting according to your income. I sent that. Her reply arrived right away. It was you. I know it was you. How can you treat your own mother this way? I blocked her number. The house was sold at auction 6 weeks after the gathering. Mom relocated to a modest apartment on the other side of town, working part-time at a retail store. I learned all this through Aunt Linda's infrequent updates, which I didn't request but didn't refuse. My company kept growing successfully. The startup I had been developing went public 3 months after the gathering. My shares were valued at $70 million. I purchased a bigger apartment in the city center, contributed generously to organizations helping survivors of domestic abuse, and created a scholarship program for women pursuing careers in technology. Occasionally, I drive by Mom's former house. A young family resides there now. They have installed a play area in the backyard where the event canopy once stood. I never replied to any further messages from Mom. Eventually, they ceased arriving. My wealth advisor asked me once if I felt any remorse about my choice. I considered it thoughtfully before responding. No, I said. I regret supporting her for 7 years. I regret not allowing her to confront reality earlier. I regret believing that money could purchase respect or affection or even simple kindness. But I don't regret ending it. That's reasonable, he said. I built my achievements by identifying when an investment stopped delivering value. Mom was simply the most difficult investment to release. But like any smart business person, I learned to stop the losses. She taught me that love comes with conditions. I simply taught her that assistance does too. We both received our lessons that spring. The difference is, I learned mine by choice.